college football all day. It's a Football Friday right here on The Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. How we doing? Happy Halloween, everybody.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Alema's good. But it sounds to me like Lloyd's not so good.
Lloyd's throwing strays here to start the show, but that's all right. I'm in a good mood. He can say whatever he wants. It's fine.
There you go.
Scotty and I show up a good 30 minutes early, and we're doing line checks.
Yeah, we're over here. we're talking to clients. We're having a good time. And then Lloyd, I go, hey, Lloyd, you there? Lloyd. And then all of a sudden the music pops on. Lloyd's like, are you guys there? Are you talking to me?
Christian. So you did say that, right?
I did say, and then I was like, well, it's probably not even Lloyd. It's probably Christian.
Poor Alema's caught in the middle of it. How you doing, Alema?
I'm doing so
here.
good. I'm right there with Hans, man. I'm walking around with that undefeated vibe going right now, feeling a part of this BYU program. I'm like, Cougars? Yeah, you want to talk some Cougars? Let's talk some BYU. Anybody want to talk some BYU?
What are you getting stopped for more, BYU or Jazz? Because everybody sees you on the Jazz, the broadcast.
But people are stopping me a little bit because of the Jazz, because they got off to a really nice start. And they've been looking good and competitive, and everybody wants to know, like, what's the team going to look like this year? But the reality is that you know, the Jazz are number one, BYU's number two, and that's just kind of the hierarchy of sports in our marketplace. But when you got an undefeated team, whether it was back in 04 and 08.
I like how you're like way back in 04 and way back in 08.
Wow. Holy crap.
I don't think that I couched it that way. But anytime one of the teams is undefeated like that, there's something special. There's a little bit of a buzz. And it's not just that they're undefeated right now, speaking of BYU, it's just kind of the way that they have been going about their business. And, Hans, you and I have been around the BYU program for a long, long time. Yeah. And there's times when there's a vibe in the locker room or on the campus or at Legacy Hall, and it just feels different. This feels different. It feels different because there's times when you almost feel like they're pushing a narrative, like, oh, yeah, this is like, the quest for perfection, the brotherhood, all of this kind of stuff. And it doesn't necessarily ring hollow, but there's other times when you don't even have to make those statements, and you can observe the program and say, man, this team's got something. There's like something special about this group right now. And that's the way that I feel about BYU.
Does this year's 8-0 feel even a little bit different than last year's 9-0? Because to me it does.
It does. And I think part of it is the maturity of a Chase. That you got guys on the team that their leadership has had one more year of maturity, and then you're bringing in a Bear Bachmeier who was kind of an unknown commodity. And you're starting to get a feel for it. The thing that is different to me about BYU right now, because people ask me this all the time, is like, oh, is that kid LDS? Or is that kid I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea what the percentage of players on the team that are LDS versus non-LDS. It's not even about that. It's about the spiritual strength of this group, regardless of religious affiliation. And there's something unique and special, I think, about that. And that's been something that's been progressive, whether it's A.J. Labonte basketball, there's like all these different components that are coming together. And it's like, it doesn't matter what your religious affiliation is. If you want a program that's got a spiritual foundation, then BYU is a place for you.
There was another difference, too, Scotty, that I was feeling with the whole thing, with the whole situation that BYU's currently in. And, Alema, you can definitely identify with this. We back to the Utes and the BCS Busters And it was like, man, they busted the BCS, but we knew that they would never be national champions. We knew that they really didn't control their own destiny. And where BYU is currently 8-0, it's like it's all up to them.
Yeah.
It's all up to them. Now, can they go beat the Ohio States, the Georgias? Can they go beat the SEC and Big Ten powers of the world? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's a really different.
But at least they'd have a shot.
Difficult ask. But they control their destiny. If they finish out this season 12-0, or if they finish out this season 11-1, they're headed to Arlington.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens to Arlington, they might be in the CFP. If they win, they're in the CFP. If they get in the CFP, it's like Scotty always says, chip in a chair.
Yep.
I got a chance.
Yeah.
Let me game plan against Michigan. Let me game plan against Ohio State.
There was a time when it was just polls, AP and UPI, that you had a chance, right? Then the Bowl Alliance and then the way that that what ended up being structured, and even as it evolved, there was a time where
Walled out,
you really don't have a chance.
It walled out undefeated.
Right. And unfortunately for the University of Utah, especially probably in that 04 season, that they were on the outside looking in. It's like, as good as they were, and I remember talking to Morgan Scally about this, it's like, Pitt? Really? That's where you put us, is against Pitt? Like, why are we not playing USC? Why? I mean, there are so many things that were part of that year, and even the 08 season, but that year was like, man, they caught lightning in a bottle that year. And that's a year that I would argue that they should have been a national champion, right? But they didn't get the opportunity. They didn't get a chance to play against a team where at the end of it all they go, okay, these guys are the best team, because they didn't play. I mean, playing Pitt in the Fiesta Bowl, like, what's that?
Yeah, means nothing.
Right. So now, because of the 12-team playoff, it's like, okay, now you got an opportunity. You still have to do your part, but they're in a good position right now. And I'm sure with BYU fans and even with BYU alums, there's a little anxiety. It's like, man, it's like, do you have to be perfect? Can one loss, if you lose to Texas Tech, is it over for you? It's like, man, but you get the sense that down in Provo, they are 1-0. Like, we're going to take care of this game this week. You got a bye week this week to get healthy and get ready. They're pretty locked in. And I love this mantra that you hear coming out of Provo, which is stay humble and stay hungry. If you can do that with a bunch of 19, 18, 20, 22-year-olds,
24, 25.
Scotty, not you.
I knew that was coming.
Not you.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you can do that with a group of young men, then that in itself is an accomplishment, because that's like herding cats. It's hard to keep guys focused like that. You figure you got 100 guys that are on the practice field on any given day, 40 plus or 50 plus on the home game that are going to dress. To try to maintain that focus that's a challenge. But everything that I've seen to this point, they are focused. And it's been building up. You needed last year to be able to have this year, right? It's not something that happens just out of nowhere. It's got to be built over progressive years, and I think that's where BYU is right now.
Well, I think BYU fans have become accustomed to when that first loss happened, whether it was November or September, that, okay, well, it doesn't matter. We can go 6-6 or 11-1. We're going to the same place.
Yeah.
And I think it's taken a minute in year 3 here in the Big 12 for people to realize that, hey, you can lose to Texas Tech and still control your own destiny. Like, you can still finish 11-1 and for the most part still have a really strong chance of playing in the college, or not the college football playoff, but at least the Big 12 championship game.
A very good chance.
And so that's the thing. Like, even if you take an L, if you finish the year 3-1, you're still, I'll just say it, you're probably in the Big 12 championship game.
If you're 3-1,
Yeah. And so that's the thing. You can even withstand a loss and still be there. And so do I think BYU finishes the year 12-0? No. I think they're going to take an L, somewhere along the way. It might be in Lubbock, but that's all right. You can rebound from that and still have all your goals, including Big 12 championship and college football playoff, in front of you. And that, I think, has got this fan base really fired up because they're like, yeah, we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to have that one L, and it's like, oh, boy, let's go to Shreveport.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's not like, the years past, or even Zach Wilson's year, where you've got this rolling, and COVID plays a huge part in all of that, and then you take a loss on a game where should you have gone and played that game or not? Probably not. And if you don't, then do you have a better chance? I don't know. It's hard to go back and try to relitigate whatever happened in the past, but this is feeling like a special situation, a special year.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of situations that we've got to watch continue to kind of evolve, and that is what's happened with L.J. Martin.
Yeah.
That injury is brutal, and I don't know what his future looks like. What's happening with Jack Kelly? I've heard that there were maybe some other things that happened to him outside of the previous injury, so we'll have to watch that evolve and see how that plays out. But those two, you got to have those two, Jack Kelly and L.J. Martin. Okay, so just out of curiosity and for conversation's sake, you get this bye week, perfect time for a bye week. You got Texas Tech, the most difficult team on your schedule,
at
probably
their place,
to this
right?
point. Very difficult.
Yeah.
Is that something you get there and you look at it and you're like, let's roll the dice without LJ and without Jack because we got to be ready for Cincinnati, TCU, and UCF?
That's a good question.
Man, that's an interesting conversation.
Almost to a certain, not officially, but kind of conceding an L.
Yes.
Making sure that you're stronger the last three games.
Let's play on house money here.
Yeah.
You when you get a big chip lead and you're in a poker game, you start to manage yourself different. Okay, you're sitting 8-0. You're in the catbird seat.
Yeah.
And I got major injuries to LJ, major injuries to Jack, and I think I'm getting Raider DeMooney back. I think I'm getting JoJo Phillips back. I think I'm getting some guys healthy. Man, could I manage a game plan against Texas Tech? Maybe give us a shot, but give those guys a rest. Because TCU at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Look, guys, we talk about 3-1. 1-3 is possible.
Yeah.
4-0 is possible.
Yeah.
I want everybody to understand 4-0 is possible. But when I look at Josh Hoover with TCU, when I look at Sorsby, Cincinnati, when I look at Morton with Texas Tech, and even UCF right now, they've got the fourth leading passer in the Big 12 in Miles Montgomery.
Yeah.
Sorry, fourth leading rusher in the Big 12 in Miles Montgomery at nearly 80 yards a game. So UCF has some pieces that are very, very good. So what I'm saying is, do you manage your chips different looking at L.J. Martin and Jack Kelly?
And this is where it gets complicated, right? Because you don't want to get away from what got you to this point, which was just we're going out and we're going to roll this team out and we're going to play. And if you're healthy, you're going to play. That to me is because what you're doing is you're almost playing too much with it, and I think what people like about the Utah Jazz right now is like, hey, we're looking at the team. Whoever's healthy, they're going to play, and we're not going to try to tinker with it and have other objectives here. So now I'm not saying that what you're proposing, Hans, is not the intelligent route, but man, it almost feels like you're just kind of messing around with it too much, and you get your guys healthy. And now, to me, if LJ's not healthy, if Kelly's not healthy, then don't play him, and that's just then you look at your locker room. It's like next man up mentality. Whether it's Preston Rex or whoever's in that linebacker room, it's like you step, and guys have. And even if you look at the back end of last week's game, it's like guys had to step up. Preston Rex had to step up. Bear Bachmeier's running the ball a little bit more on the offense. You make those types of adjustments. But do you sit a guy that could play? Man, that to me is feeling like you're messing with it.
Well, it's also though about what's the future injury potential.
Sure.
Like if it's like, all right, you can't hurt it anymore, shoot it up and go out there and play. Then by all means do it. But if you're risking damage to the remainder of the season,
well, then you're sure.
You got to be careful.
But at that point, you're making a medical health decision, as opposed to, yeah, he could go, but let's not have him go. I want to make sure he's completely ready for Cincinnati. I'm not sure that I like that approach to it.
What's really difficult is, I would say, most of society doesn't truly grasp what goes into making that decision at that level of football and in that moment.
Yeah.
Because there are so many conversations of, okay, we can put a brace on it. All right, well, how much does the brace help? Okay, we can hit it with Toradol. We can relieve the pain. Okay, well, how much does that help? Okay, what is your elbow pressure and hand pressure?
Yeah.
How much can you clamp on a football? How potentially loose is that? Okay, it's this type of damage. It was a dislocated AC joint, or it's a torn bicep, a partially torn. We don't think it'll go any further. We can hit it with Toradol. Like, everything that goes into that decision, it's a long conversation. It's a hard conversation. But here's the thing we all have to remember. More often than not, Kalani has shut guys down that are having that conversation. And I go back to that Boise State game where I'm running out the flag, and I called you and I said, dude, I think Jamal Williams could play, but they're not playing him.
Yeah.
You remember that game?
Oh, yeah. I remember it well.
And they didn't play Jamal Williams. And I was like, well, why aren't you playing Jamal? Because I
need
had
Jamal.
a conversation with Jamal.
He's a
and
difference maker.
It felt like Jamal was feeling like he could go. And it was like, nope, we're not going to put you at risk because you're an NFL guy.
And you and I both know that you cannot let the player make that decision. If you're letting Jack Kelly make the decision whether he's going to play or not, he's going to play. He's like
you did against Iowa State.
Because players, we're not capable of those types of decisions, because there's part of your DNA that's just like, if I can walk, I'm playing, right? And that's why you got to take guys' helmets and hide them somewhere so they don't try to get themselves back in the game.
They'll play at 40%.
You got to have other people that have the player's best interest, the team's best interest, but the player's best interest in mind, saying, okay, we're going to make this decision for you because we know that you're not really capable of making a wise decision here.
Yeah, because if LJ is saying, I can go against Texas Tech, and you're like, I don't know, can you? Yes, I can go. Shoot it up, brace me. I'm going to do whatever I can do. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we got to make a business decision. Can we get by this? And what if we don't? And we're sitting 8-1.
Yeah.
You have to make those calls, and you have to have those really hard conversations, because 8-1 isn't terrible if you feel like you're getting Jack Kelly back and LJ Martin back with an extra 7 days of rest.
Yeah, I mean, for the home stretch,
You and I have argued about this all the time about, how do you make that decision? And you're right. It's not just a black and white decision. There's parents involved. There's so many people involved. Right now, probably there's agents involved, for crying out loud.
It gets so deep.
And so it's not as black and white as we'd like it to be, or sometimes we think it is, but also you as an adult in the room, as a coach, sometimes have to make the tough decisions on behalf of a player, even though the player wants to play. You're like, hey, look, we're looking long-term here, not only for our team, but for the long-term future of you. Mm-hmm. We're going to sit you out. And he's like, screw you, I'm playing. I'm like, nah, hold on. I need to be the adult here. You're emotional. Look, I want you out there too. I want to be 9-0. But I also want to be 11-1, not 8-4.
Yeah.
So let's chill a little bit and let's get you healthy. And it's such a tough decision to make, because these kids have such a minute amount of time to get that film, make that impression, and they don't want to waste any of it.
And even the guys that are not going to the NFL, the guy that's not an NFL guy. And I was not an impact player, but coming off my sophomore year, I ruptured a disc in my back during spring ball, and I have surgery. But I had a good chance of getting a lot of playing time in my junior season, and so I'm trying to come back from this injury and the surgery to play that fall. And I still remember going through the final tests where they were going to make the decision on whether or not they were going to allow me to play that year, and I ended up redshirting that year. It was one of the more emotional things that I was heartbroken. And these players, whether they're going to the NFL or not, now if you're like I wasn't an NFL guy, but if you got that on the horizon, then maybe you make a different decision. But if you're just a guy that wants to get out there and play with your brothers and have an opportunity to play college football, which is a dream come true for anybody that gets on a Division I field, those are emotional, tough decisions that you don't always get to make. Like if it had been up to me, I would have played that year instead of redshirting, and probably would have injured the back more. Who knows? I mean, I've had 5 back surgeries at this point, so what does it matter at this point? But the point being that there's so much that goes into it because players want to play. They just want to play, but there's got to be adults in the room, as you're saying, Scotty, that have to make that decision on behalf of not just the player but the team, and make the decisions that are going to be best in the long term for the team.
Well, the thing that's going to make it more difficult too is they're 8-0.
Yeah,
and and Jack Kelly, I don't know. Jack looked like he was maybe 65% against Iowa State. He was still doing his thing. He still had some contains. He still had a really nice hit on the quarterback. Nice pursuit out past the numbers. Put a hit on a quarterback, but was not the typical Jack Kelly.
Yeah.
I think that one guy that we haven't talked a lot about is Glasgow. Glasgow looked like he was about 70%, maybe 75%. He just wasn't that typical explosive, sure tackling guy. He missed a couple of tackles that you're like, that's not Glasgow.
Yeah.
So, there are guys out there that I think are pushing themselves even harder than they typically would because they're 8-0.
Yeah.
And they control their destiny. So that probably leans on Kalani a little bit too. Like he's like, geez, what am I willing to risk? Am I willing to risk this kid?
Yeah.
I mean, we're 8-0. I start leaning into you a little bit more because I'm like, okay, Limit, you tell me. Your back's hurting.
Yeah.
How bad is it hurt? It's hurting pretty bad. Can you go? I can go, Coach.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't practice. I saw you kind of hobbling.
Yeah.
You were bent over. Yeah, Coach, it just got tight on me. I'll be okay. And in your mind, you're like, I need him for Texas Tech. I don't want to lose this one because TCU. Then that puts us in the pressure cooker. Yeah. Now we have to find a way to go 3-0.
Yeah.
To finish this season.
And then you start thinking about last year.
Yes.
You come off the Utah win, then you lose 2. It's like, you got a little PTSD from that.
This goes so deep, and it is going to gut check everybody and everybody's decision making. And Kalani's typically erred on the side of caution, but
to your point, if Kalani has an MO, he'll always side with the player safety.
Yeah.
And this would put it to the test, though, for sure.
Yeah, whether it's going back to our experience with Lavelle Edwards or the way that I look at how Kalani manages his team now, he's more like a father to these guys and doing what's going to be in the best interest of them long term, regardless of what that means for the team. Now, that's part of the decision-making equation, but he's going to err on the side of making sure that the player is going to be okay.
Hans and Scotty, Alema Harrington with us from 12 to 2. We get a little early dose of Alema because Alema is got some high school obligations. So then Coach McBride will be here from 1 to 3, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All college football all day. It's a Football Friday right here on the Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a Football Friday. Alema Harrington hanging out with us till 2 o'clock. Then at 1 o'clock, Ron McBride will come and stop by. He'll be with us from 1 to 3. We're live here at Tim Daly Mazda Southtown off the 106 South exit on Automall Drive. All right, so Jake's got to sell 10 vehicles by the end of the day. He's going to stay here as long as he needs to get those 10 vehicles. You have a staff here that is very motivated to close up shop and go home and go trick-or-treating with their kids. So that means you come in here and say, hey, look, I like this 5, I like this 50, make me a deal, and I'll get you closer to being with your family. You want to be a good dad? Okay, take my offer. You want your kid to love you? Take my offer. I'm telling you, you've got these guys where you want them, so take advantage of it. Hey, Utah fans, it's a Utah keyword. This is your chance to win tickets to tomorrow night's blackout game against Cincinnati. This hour, the keyword is SACK, S-A-C-K. Text it to 57500, and you'll be automatically entered into win tickets for Saturday night. Again, the keyword is SACK. All one word, no spaces. Text it to 57500 for your chance to win. And next hour, we'll give you another keyword and another chance for you to win. For details and contest rules, because we have to have rules on everything, visit KSLSports.com.
Hey, Alema, how did that interview go with R-Truth? Did you
It
have
was
fun
awesome.
with that?
I had a great
Did
time.
you know who he was?
Yeah, because I've been a WWE fan for forever. In Hawaii, when I was growing up, and I have family like Superfly Jimmy Snuka. That's part of my family. All of these guys, The Rock, Roman Reigns, all of these guys, part of the Anoa'i family. Are all guys that I've known over the years or known the family. So in Hawaii, man, the place, they used to have their own promotion in Hawaii, and the big stars would come through and be part of it. And then you had some guys that would graduate and get to the WWF or whatever the big promotion was at the time. But there was a place called the Civic Center in Hawaii. And I'll tell you, when the big wrestling promotions would come through, man, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. And I think we all understand that wrestling is not real. But there's a lot of people that really believe that this thing was for real.
There's a lot of realness to it.
The entertainment value was fantastic. And it used to air on local TV, the smaller promotion that was just a local Hawaii promotion. And we would watch wrestling all the time. Like every Friday night, there was a wrestling that was on local TV. And so I've grown up, and my older sons loved wrestling, especially my one that's the 26-8, and he loved wrestling. And so we would go to all these different shows when they'd come through. But I look at that, and as I was talking off camera, talking with R-Truth, I was like, man, when you're here at the arena, I got to imagine that you get respect from other professional athletes, because the WWE or any of those big wrestling promotions, that's a freaking grind.
Yeah.
Bro. And these guys, we're talking
as
about
much of a grind as
playing
sports.
through injury.
Oh, yeah.
These guys, it's a huge deal for them to be able to get out there and perform. And they're I don't know how many appearances they make a year, but it's probably over 150, maybe 200 appearances a year.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And he was so where I was sitting for the game, and it was just me and my boy, just as fans, and he was the row in front of us and just a little bit to our left and they gave him an aisle seat, which maybe they shouldn't have, because that dude was standing up and taking pictures nonstop, and then would sit down, and then all of a sudden somebody else would come and tap him on the shoulder in the middle of the game. And dude couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been nicer, couldn't have been more accommodating to people.
You know how old he is?
50-something.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like, I think he's 52.
Yeah.
52 years old and still, out there and wrestling. And a lot of these guys are, getting up in age, and they're still, they're in fantastic shape. And so, but, for me, I love, the Roman Reigns group and the Usos and Jay. And Jay's going to be part of one of the matches that's coming up tonight and tomorrow. A big event at Delta Center. So we're going to be. I'm actually stoked because we'll be in the building. I'm going from here to a high school game and then to the Jazz broadcast. But the Jazz are on the road, so in the building tonight, I get a chance to watch the WWE promotion, the SmackDown going on.
I forgot that's going down tonight.
Yeah.
That's a great promotion to have come into town.
Oh,
too.
yeah. So they got SmackDown tonight and then main event tomorrow. So they got two huge promotions that are coming through. And they love Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is a great market for them, for the WWE. And so I got a call from my producer, Nathan, and he's like, hey, would you want to interview R-Truth from the WWE? I'm like, absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere
Oh,
else.
he hit it.
No, I didn't.
It was clean.
Yeah. It's like, I love WWE too, but let's maybe dial it down a little bit.
He hit the VidAngel version. He killed it.
Yeah, no doubt. No worries with Alema.
So, Alema, we are looking at a Utah team that's got a game day in town, so another opportunity to be on a national stage, and a very tough Cincinnati team. What do you know of the Cincinnati team, and what do you make of Utah, where they're at right now, and what their possibilities to finish are?
I was really, I wasn't surprised at the way that they bounced back and they played this past weekend, because that's a talented team. Now, the question mark for me with Utah is same thing with BYU is at this point of the season, your injuries that you're trying to manage and deal with. And the hard part for us covering the University of Utah is like, are we getting the right information about who's available and what what Dampier's situation is? And Cincinnati is one of those teams that it's such a crazy year, right? Because Cincinnati has been good at times, but they're a good enough team right now. Indiana's a good team. It's like, what's going on with these basketball schools that, and if you look at college football, Indiana, Vanderbilt, all these teams that are there's enough parity going on that from week to week that you're always looking at the matchups, and it's like, man, I don't know who's going to win that game. Vanderbilt, Texas coming up. There was a time when it was like, that's an easy decision. Like, that's Texas. But you don't know if Arch Manning's – well, I don't think Arch Manning is playing. I think he's out for concussion protocol. And there's just so much parity in college football right now, which is a great thing.
If I were to tell you Vanderbilt and Texas has a Heisman Trophy player in the midst of that game, which team is he on? And it's Vanderbilt, and frankly, it's not even close.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that's kind of, the fun part about college football right now. Now, if you're just, you like the headliners and the Texases and Michigans and, of the world, then it might be a little frustrating for you. But I think it's good for the game overall that these markets are having that kind of excitement around their teams. And, on top of that, it's like I think we understand that the SEC and the Big Ten are the big dogs, but the Big 12 they're not a cute league. Like this, they're a formidable program. They got, good programs, and I when I look at it, it's like, and I'm looking at the projections for what the college football playoff, the 12 teams is going to look like. And it's like, do you think we can get one more in there? It's like they're that good.
They're a nice little league.
The Big 12's tough, man.
Yeah, Big 12 is tough.
But here's the difference: they got to have a champion.
Yeah,
they got to have a national champion. Everybody respects the ACC because Clemson did it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And Florida State.
Yeah, everybody respects the Big Ten because Michigan has done it.
Yeah.
Everybody respects the SEC because Alabama had to run. In the last 7 years, each of those three conferences has a champion.
Yeah.
In the last 7 years. So the Big 12 has to do it.
Yeah.
Coach Mack,
what's up?
You're an hour late. We've started an hour ago.
Oh.
I'm just kidding you, Coach.
Well,
you're actually 20 minutes early, Coach.
Oh, my God.
So, but we're not going to pay you extra for the extra 20
minutes. What are you guys on me? You on me for?
Hey,
looking good. I like your hoodie.
Yeah,
well, we got to talk about a story here because Vicky sent me a text.
My God! Don't.
Are you doing okay?
What did she say?
Okay, I will read to you the text I got from Vicky.
I just had a conversation with my son-in-law. He says, we need to take Vicky's computer away from her.
So, Coach Mack screwed up his other leg. He wants to be fine, but he isn't, so he'll be there with his walker, which, by the way, you didn't bring in your walker.
Oh, wait, hey. Like, she doesn't even
know
that. She might be listening,
he
or
did
she's
have
got
his
people
walker.
listening.
He is perfectly capable of doing the show, and I want him out of the house. He just can't walk anymore. Wow. I'm just joking. That one part isn't true.
Hey, come on, man.
He twisted his other leg, plus he's we won't say that part. We found out he's not dead, but he can still talk. I'll tell you that much. Now, that part she did say.
Is that accurate or inaccurate? What's going on with your legs, Coach? Did you have a...
here's a follow-up. He'll be happy to tell you who moved their foot incorrectly at the game last week, as if any of us are watching the left guard when we're watching the game.
Who moved their foot correctly?
Oh, my gosh! What is wrong with her?
Oh,
She loves her man.
Yeah,
that
she
is
does.
Good.
She
She's
loves
looking
her
out.
man.
She's looking out for you, Coach.
Yeah. She wants you to be careful.
Well, that's why they sent my daughter with me today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Vicky are relationship goals for all three
Oh,
of
I
us.
know. There's no doubt.
If my wife cares about me that much when I'm whatever you are, 65, 68 years old, man, I'm living a good life. Living a good life.
Oh,
I'm glad you made it in,
that was
Coach.
fantastic.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You doing okay?
Not great.
But hey, what Vicky said, you're not dead.
Yeah.
So I take that as a win.
That's a W.
Yeah, we're what, week 10 in the college football season. It's like we're all banged up.
Everybody's
banged
Everybody's
up.
nicked up.
Well,
Right?
yeah.
Banged up, Coach.
You guys just got to show up and play.
Yeah.
Right?
But he got no choice.
Yep.
Did you celebrate a little bit too hard with the 53 points scored on Colorado? Is that?
I tell you. First of all, they don't let me drive, right?
Oh no.
So I drove.
Oh,
And then
to the game?
I drove over to my grandson's house, and then Scott picks me up, right? And then they drop me off back, and I drive home. And then when I got home, I took a bad step out of the car, and then the other knee just went like this, right?
Dang,
So
Coach.
now- so I had two. So this one, so I couldn't walk either leg, right? And so they got my daughter, my son-in-law,
Oh, boy.
and Vicky yelling at everybody. No, don't move him there, move him here. It's kind of like, and so.
You know what's crazy? I'm looking at Coach Witt's injury report. You're not on it.
Yeah.
No.
So if you're not on
Yeah, you're
Coach
cleared
Witt's
to
injury,
play.
Well, we all know Coach is pretty honest
Yeah.
with that injury report. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how does Coach Witt not have Coach Mack
Yeah.
on the injury report?
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Come
Not even
back.
Probable.
Alema
Well,
Harrington, Rob McBride.
Boy, you guys are really funny today.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All college football all day. It's a Football Friday right here on the Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Garrard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Normally we're talking to K-Bank, Kevin Eubank, but apparently he's ghosting us.
Oh, no.
It's like that girl in college for me. Just
Did you do that because
Well,
it's Halloween? Did you do the ghosting thing?
no,
or
it just
kinda
reminded
happened?
me of college when girls wouldn't call me back or answer their phone.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
It's very understandable.
Well,
What'd you say, Coach?
You don't need to agree so quickly. I mean,
No, I said it's understandable that Kevin is not
Oh,
calling
yeah,
us
oh, yeah,
back.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
What about these girls that never called you back?
I could fill this dealership with those.
No, come on, dude. Come on, Scotty G. You got game, bro.
Yeah.
It's got
Hey,
crazy game.
I got game
yeah.
enough for one. That's all that
Well,
matters.
you did good.
I did
mean,
great.
Why would you trade that one?
I wouldn't.
No.
Not.
Yeah, but you still want the ones that rejected you at the time. You want
No,
them
you
to-
don't want to
You want to
reject.
show up with your sweetheart at the high school reunion, and it's like, hey,
And they're
how
all
you
like
like me now?
They're all like, man,
Voice of the
I missed
Aggies.
out.
Yeah, Mazda 50
with
Turbo.
this dime
Yeah.
on my arm.
We're not even paying attention
Yeah.
to the reject.
That's so true, Coach.
But, hey,
I guarantee there's a lot of women out there that are like, man, if I would have just said yes to Coach Mack.
Yep.
oh my God, no, please.
Coach, were you a heartbreaker back in the day? You were a heartbreaker
Oh, I
No.
guarantee he was.
because you were all athlete.
Yeah, baseball and football.
You were the baseball man of the campus.
Yeah.
I had one girlfriend in high school, and she was a little tough to handle.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I don't want to know in what
I don't
way,
know
Coach.
if there's. I want you to add to that story or not, but
Well, her favorite thing was I'd be out there in baseball practice.
Yeah.
And then she would come to the park with another boy, and then she
No.
I'd be out there fielding. And
No.
then she would be walking by, and then
Parading the other guy?
Yeah, parading the other guy, and then one of the players would say, "Hey, Mac, there's your girlfriend."
Hey, ain't that your girl?
Yeah, that's your girlfriend. I said, "Where?" He said, "Over there with that guy." I said, "I don't know." she looks familiar.
Daddy was hard to handle.
And then she'd see you go 3 for 4 from the plate and be like, all right, that's my guy.
Yeah.
And get rid of this dude. Yeah. Hey, joining us now, he is here. Kevin Eubank, kind enough to join us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. K-Bank, how are you?
Brother.
Dude, I'm so good, and that makes my heart swell that Coach Mack had a girl that stepped out on him.
Oh, my God.
It just does. It makes all the little guys like us who have that
Oh,
our
come
entire
on,
life.
come on.
That's how we started this segment, is how, like, all, look, the laundry list of girls that broke my heart in college and high school, it is numerous. But Coach Mack, never happened. Never happened to you.
Yeah, well, there's nothing like running into one of those, like at a restaurant or something, and you got to look at your kids and go, yeah, that girl dumped me in high school, right?
Yep.
Those are never fun conversations.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a game in Salt Lake tomorrow. What are we looking like?
50s, clear skies. There'll be some clouds around, but honestly, no weather, no issue. And for November, in the 50s at an 8 o'clock game, we're good. So all this talk about Cincinnati knows how to play in the cold or the youth, 50s isn't cold. They're going to be just fine, and should be an awesome game and an awesome night of football up on the hill.
How we looking next week, by the way? Are we going to take a turn? Are we seeing the flurries anytime soon?
Yeah, there's a couple of storms that are trying to materialize, but as of right now, nothing huge coming. We had such an incredible October for water that November, we'll see how it all works. Even if we get close to average, we're going to be okay. And with the temperatures getting cold, the mountains are already making snow. And in fact, crazy enough, there are a couple resorts who have opening dates scheduled in the next 2 weeks. So They're going to do all they can to blow snow and get the mountains ready. So we're going to be just fine. Should be a nice extension of fall. When you get 60s into the month of November like we've got now, that's a pretty good way to transition.
I'm not hating that at all.
Can you give us a spoiler on your Halloween costume on tonight's broadcast?
Dude, I'm going as Kevin Eubank. Have you seen that guy? Dude,
I love it.
He's lit. No, I'm not on TV tonight. I'm actually I'm handing out drinks. So our go-to for Halloween candy, we stopped doing candy a long time ago. We give them a can of soda. And the kids get there and they're like, what? And you're like, yeah, take a can of soda. And the parents you're like, you idiot. I'm like, hey, if we weigh them down, they'll get tired fast. If they get thirsty, you got a drink in the bag. And if it's extra, it goes in my fridge when we're done. So
there you go.
I'm handing out soda tonight. So if you boys want, you know my address. Come on up. I'll get you a nice Coke. And yes, Coach, I've got an adult beverage for you and your ex-girlfriend. I'll have it all here.
So for all those Utah fans, they can swing on by and grab a cold one, huh?
There'll be a table out on the street.
We love you, K-Bank. Thank you.
Okay.
You guys have a good weekend.
There he is, the great Kevin Eubank, Chief Meteorologist, KSL 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.